from the beginning, from the start, Shortcut's always been focused on the work. This shot is essentially the first form that Shortcut took. This is a real photo from Kurt's first office. The tools available at the time, the SaaS tools or the ones on your computer just weren't cutting it. And Shortcut was born from here with a mission of how can we make sure that the work is captured, doesn't slip through the cracks or, fall off the wall of sticky notes. How can we make it easy, seamless? Maybe it could be fun sometimes, but it also should be structured enough to do some serious work. If you click one more time, ta-da! So seriousness, we're very serious. But we want to make sure to take out the fuss and frustration that you're used to from other tools. Shortcuts come a long way since the sticky note wall, but we've always hovered around an internal philosophy of how to get things done. And that is, next slide, the shortcut way. So this is a set of 5 pillars. We've kind of cut away all the extraneous or fleeting opinions in product development space. Those things are always changing. There's a lot of trends that come and go. Things that, are going viral on Twitter or just in our spaces. But there's a few pillars here that just should remain consistent in your product development process. Consistent way to break down work, embracing team styles, sharing really effectively, a lot of nuance in there, tying it all back to your goals and planning what's next based on impact. These are simple enough. It's not some proprietary blend that's only works if you use Shortcut, but we have built Shortcut around this style and these pillars. So it's really simple to jump in, align with the Shortcut way from day one. So let's dive in. First one, next slide. First one's about breaking down work. Software development can be complex, but the execution doesn't really have to be. Breaking down work effectively is a little bit of an art and a science. So stories, they represent a shippable scope of customer value. It's called a user story for a reason. Capture problems that need solving, specify requirements, acceptance criteria, breaking everything down, features, bugs, chores. These are all types of stories. And stories often have multiple implementation steps, which can be captured with subtasks. We're going to talk more about that later as well. Subtasks capture the implementation steps, aims to break down the story scope into individual pieces that should be completed within a few days. They should also ideally, when possible, be work that you can do in tandem so that you can minimize the dependencies there and create bottlenecks. So like if you have 5 subtasks on a story, ideally a few of them can be done in tandem by a few different people. And then finally, epics are groups of related stories that deliver on a larger outcome. You want to keep epics scoped to deliver value within a time frame, so like a week, a month, or a quarter, or just like the duration of a project. You don't want to have these catch-all epics or ones that never close. Don't worry, these are habits. Like we do the same thing. We're trying to break this habit as well. But epics aren't meant to never complete. They are meant to be just a group of like stories that once those are all delivered, you have delivered that value. You don't have to think about it as a release, so don't hold back stories. You don't have to wait for them all in an epic to be complete before shipping. Stories in an epic can and should ship when they're completed, get things in front of users as fast as possible. And when you're breaking down your work, you want to think about those habits and that sort of outcome so that you break down your work in a way that you can accomplish that. Ultimately, this is the biggest habit you want to build from day one. You want to separate business value from implementation work. Stories and epics should capture the what you want to accomplish, the value, where subtasks should capture the how it is actually accomplished, the steps to getting there and delivering it. Next slide. Our second pillar here in the shortcut way, teams work the way they want. Teams don't need to work all the same way. They shouldn't. Different types of work require different styles and strategies. That is by design. So it's your job to staff these teams based on those strategies and then empower that group to work in a way that optimizes their throughput. The one thing we believe should remain consistent across all of your teams is having some sort of team sync. So this could look a little bit different depending on the team. The cadence might look different, but it's just regular planning, check-in, and retro sessions. You really want to keep those on the map and be honest with yourself. If bi-weekly things are starting to slip, move them to weekly. We love that right now. Our favorite currently is a weekly planning session, couple stand-ups, and then a Friday demo and setting goals for the next week. Some teams are using Kanban, some are using cycles, but both styles are working in tandem right now. Next slide. Our third pillar here, sharing progress outwards. It's critical to maintain a unified view across the organization. Here in Shortcut, we have this unified view. It's on our roadmap. So you can see across all of your teams, all the active work. You can see health signals and communicate status, bottlenecks, decision points also called out here. Our roadmap is set up intentionally this way to have these asynchronous and synchronous sessions where you're looking at this view and you can answer the questions that you have. Over communication isn't a bad thing here. We set up automated reminders for technical leads to document health updates in Shortcut, but then we also have the synchronous, like a regular status share. So it's just 15 minutes. People can show up, they can ask questions about active work. These practices have really helped us stay ahead of questions, anticipate these things, have really solid answers for them when they're asked, and make important decisions without spending extra time in conversations. Next slide. Fourth pillar here, tying work back to goals. So this is the fourth pillar, but it's actually step one. So you want to set your goals, then you want to build your roadmap based on these goals. It's really tempting to jump right in based on your gut feel. And while our product instincts do play a legitimate role, they should have their place in roadmap creation. Data-informed decision-making should have a little bit more weight in that creation. So at Shortcut, we use an OKR, which is objectives, key result structure, but feel free to use and define, whatever kind of smart, like specific measurable goals in whatever way you would like. Remember, you can adapt your Shortcut toolset. So if you aren't ready for objectives, feel free to turn them off. When you're ready for more structure, turn those on, and you can start tying your work to objectives and key results. As you release work from your roadmap, this is going to kick off the feedback loop. Impact is measured, and then your roadmap will reflect this, which brings me to our last pillar. Next slide. Plan what's next. So continuous releases to users, that equals continuous feedback loop. That equals continuously informing your roadmap priorities with data. Roadmap is not stagnant. It's meant to shift. The next goals you set should be based on new information you had from this feedback loop, and it's everybody's job to see your users succeed. So product engineering, design, go to market, everybody should be invested in and accountable for this feedback loop. Last slide here. In summary, TLDR, too long, didn't read. No, none of you read this, but you were listening, so thank you. In summary, these pillars should empower your teams to build great products and deliver what your customers actually want. This approach is going to clear the path for innovation. It will strengthen your collaboration, and it will help your teams achieve meaningful progress and share that progress every step of the way.